let them go. They keep stopping me from going where I'm supposed to go. I don't know, it's like every single time, bitch, you running through my mind. I be locked and loaded.
Hey everybody, hope you're doing great. Time to go head over to the office. Started a little bit later because I ended late last night. So it's about 7:45, heading to the office. Have a networking meeting as well tonight. Won't get home probably about 8 o'clock. So let's go make it happen. Hey there everybody, I love people. And it doesn't mean that I'm gonna be perfect when I engage with you. It doesn't mean that I'm like not judgmental. Sometimes I am. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna get flustered or frustrated or even angry. But I will say that a lot of times in my life, as I see different circumstances or go throughout things, that I want to be there for people. I want to be able to help them get to where they want to go. I love people. I love what they can do and what they can accomplish. And I've seen in my own life that people are riddled with difficulties and struggles and tragedy, but the human spirit is amazingly powerful. And that despite the past, the way that we might have been treated, the way that we might be being treated right now, we're amazing, amazing beings. And that whether you believe in a higher supreme being or not, I'd say that there's greater work for us to accomplish. Turns out. Everybody, happy Thursday. Heading to Suited Connections, a networking event through the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. Should be a fun time. I know they had a hard time getting 75 people. They opened it up. It used to be, I think it was like cigars and something else, men's only. They invited women. So I think they had like 58 or something when it was just men. So open it up. So they're hoping to get 75 here. We're at Kirby Collection, the residence at Kirby Collection. So got the tripod, got my NOS, and just parked the car, walking over. Let's go. Okay, here we are upstairs, residence, Kirby Collection, 25th floor. Just a stunning skyline here of Houston. You can see how it's got these different points. This is how the city sprawls, you know, like unlike a New York or Chicago, it just goes straight up in a center location. This one basically keeps going on and on and on. Hey there, everybody, Sherman here, the Crazy Agent. So here was the day after came in to the office and was working with the interns, just establishing expectations, just because we talked to them about having autonomy, and so now is the part in their internship where we give them autonomy and we allow them to be able to make choices. So that way, we don't want them coming into the office and needing us to tell them what to do every single moment of every day. Other thing was we want to make sure that because they're hourly, they should be coming in on time. That should be the expectation. And they don't have clients, so getting on their phone for them right now is a distraction, not an advantage, right? So when you're an agent and you work for our organization, then you do a lot of business on your phone. The next thing that we want to be able to make sure that they understood is with the capstone projects that we want to have them do. So I find that a lot of times as a leader, you need to be able to make sure that you take a step back and connect the dots for individuals, especially those newer employees, like interns, to be able to make sure that they understand what's happening in the whole process. Next after that was able to sit down one-on-one with one of the agents and go through some of the cases that he's working on, some of the things that are out there, and then work some different projections together. And we just had Jimmy John's for lunch and stayed there in the office, was working on a quarterly review presentation, and then met with, had a phone call with our corporate partner to talk about just recruiting and kind of how things are changing. And ultimately in a world where you have some of the lowest unemployment rates that you've ever had before, right? So to get a college grad right now, it's around 2.1% is the unemployment rate if you're a college grad. If you're in finance, it's around 1.7%. That's typically where we find a lot of our candidates. And so if we keep having the same attitude towards recruiting of, hey, let's just see who's going to stick, let's just run at everybody, then we're going to find ourselves doing the exact same thing and not finding ourselves better or different quality candidates, and we're fighting for the exact same individual. So trying to think about that blue ocean marketing strategy when it comes to attracting talent, so that way we're not one of the many, we're one of the few in regards to finding and identifying those individuals. Reminds me very much like Southwest back in the 70s when they were looking to find the right stewardess, the right flight attendants, because they had on these really weird outfits, and they wanted people that were real rah-rah, real excited. What they found is that cheerleaders. So they moved all the recruiting to attract cheerleaders from high school, cheerleaders from college, and that got them to where they needed to go. So hope you're all doing well, everybody. And now I'm up here at the residence of Kirby's Collection, doing a networking event. Suited Connections used to be men's only, now it's men and women, and just mix and mingling, getting to know folks. And so hope you're all doing well. Shirts out.
Meant to be true to you, a legend in the making, make the best of every moment, cause nothing lasts forever, but forever I'll be focused on the now, never, this my testimony, yeah, that's my testimony, yeah, I'm about to take all of you out, nobody safe, you're playing it safe.